What's up, guys? Hmm. Black Friday time? Do you guys want a referral code? Yes. Um, One sec. Yeah. There you go, Tom Tom. Yeah, I'll probably renew. I don't know. I have like 500 days left. What did ES do it open? Up, but not a gap? Or is it a gap? It gapped up a little. Ugh, weak. Hmm. Not much of a move in volatility, though. No problem, Tom Tom. All right. Are we gonna do we can do stocks? What do you want to look at? God, YouTube still hasn't fixed the fucking screen name problem. Will Fubo be sad forever? I don't know. What's it at right now? Shit, it's back to $3. Um, that doesn't look great. I mean, maybe more accumulation. Yeah, I mean, it failed. It failed its uptrend, so you would expect it to probably accumulate above $3 now, given the last, the last low was like fucking, was it like two something, 227, something like that. 28. Is it 28? Yeah, 228. What was it, like 460 a couple days ago? Failed to break out higher than that. Seems to have been a fairly strong top on price action for the last year or so, almost a year now. Upstart? Mm, I still think the environment's really bad for the business model. I think that's why it's continuing to fail, but probably the same story as before. Like, it's just, mm, mm, fuck, man. This chain's gotten wrecked. Yeah, I mean, it needs to get out above delta neutral, so 38 to the upside. Mm, 40 looks rough. There's more interest out in the leap strike. Not a lot of delta, so you get up to like 42. I don't know, 38 to 42 is a range, I guess. But that you could trade. You could trade that range. I just think it's kind of shit. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's worth it. It's definitely cheap right now, at least relative to where it's been trading since like September of last year. They benefit from, liquid credit conditions though, and as a subprime lender with other subprime lenders failing, it makes sense that their PE is contracted so sharply. And they're still trading at 150x their earnings, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I'd probably be slightly interested in a break above 40, very interested in a break above 45, but that looks hard to get right now. This declining delta definitely starts to make it look like it's entering like an accumulation period that will be possibly very long. I mean, look at the last one, right? It was like Feb of 25 all the way, really like all the way into like June, before it recovered back to highs. And their performance during that was arguably better. CDE? Jesus Christ. Mm, this is just a precious metals miner. Mm, I don't know. I'd have to do more research than I'm willing to on a stream to start digging into any kind of mining company. You've got to do a lot of diligence to make sure that it's not just like a scam. I mean, sheets can be fine, but it can still be scammy. Shares outstandings, what? A little fucking high, right? So it looks like they've definitely already turned to their equity, in order to get operating capital. And generally speaking, anytime miners run, that's exactly what they fucking do because their operating costs are extremely high. So you gotta think about like cash on hand and potential dilution, especially if you want to go like long for an extended period of time on something like that. Probably usually better off just trading the commodity itself rather than fucking with the miners. They have a lagged effect, and sometimes by the time they can get their inventories to market in order to profit off of holding inventories, if they even hold inventories, a lot of miners just sell immediately upon extraction. There are ones like Barrick that sit on a bunch of their gold and wait for the market to be primed. But haven't been a lot of opportunities to get out of your big pile of gold in quite some time. I don't know anything about their joint venture, so I don't know if I can comment on it. It doesn't look like the market likes it. I thought all this was supposed to get replaced by AI, so it should be a dying business model. Or at least heavily impacted by unemployment, which is maybe stable. What is their? Do you know what their joint venture seeks to accomplish? They're also about to reprice a bunch of their products, and analysts seem to be very worried about how that's going to impact their clients. I mean, Nove already rocketed once. I mean, it's currently very sensitive to oil prices, obviously. So, I mean, there's a lot of talk surrounding another Russia-Ukraine peace deal. So we'll see if that works out or falls through. It's at $15. If you bought it at 11.80, you've already gotten like fucking 4 years of returns in a few months. So you can hold out and really see if the cyclicality of that industry comes back full force. Or you can just take profits and wait for price appreciation above like $16, which could be shortly, could be a long time. Really depends on how much you have to expand oil and natural gas extraction operations. All right, if you guys aren't going to find stocks, I will. Boring options chain. Cheap. Paid out their dividend. They pay out their dividend on Tuesday. Given all the shorting, there might be a pop back due to that, which may have started Friday. I would say maybe there's something near term. I feel like there's not a lot of options here. Plenty of negative delta out to like 180. Most of it here. A little bit of resistance, and then more on a break of 70. Yeah, there's some upside room on it. That's what skew looks like. Maybe that's a little bit more indicative. Yeah, not good. There's a little bit of buying out here at the 150 strike. Maybe a little bit at 60. And then IV starts to move up, but this all looks sold. And there's still plenty of interest to the downside, so it's very slippery on any downside move at its current price. No real gamma neutral point either. Yeah, gamma neutral's down at like $77, which is absurd, obviously. Mm, yeah, I mean, this isn't options driven, like, at all, but it's got like $16 million on the chain in Delta. So, not a lot of effect here, but there's some negative gamma to the upside. I guess above Delta neutral is kind of bullish, a little bit. At least out to like 170. Nvidia. Hmm. Bunch of bunch of bunch of Delta fell off on Nvidia on Friday. GNDN moved down, so slightly bullish, maybe in the money puts. Gamma's flat as fuck from like 169 or 170 out to 187.50. There's a little bit of resistance at 180 to the upside, but then not much above that. So I guess like a breakout above like 180, 250 opens the 190 move, but it could fall back towards like 175 pretty easily. I think failing to regain 180 on Friday was probably bearish, or like failing to hold it. But, you know, it's Nvidia, so that could turn around really quickly. Like a shitload of Delta dropped off in the close. Puts picked up. Hmm. I don't see skew reversing much, but IV is still falling, which isn't bullish. Quite a bit of IV for the first week of December expiration. Yeah, well, it looks like IV gains to the upside out to 200 are pretty minimal. Like IV falls off, and IV picks up very sharply to the downside. So, not particularly great. A lot of call selling around like 190, 195. Mm. So I think these calls sold to the upside, probably pretty heavily. Or I'm sorry, these puts were bought. These calls were sold. Maybe 170 sold puts. But a lot of in the money puts at 80. And yeah, I mean you can see the snap and skew from like 1119 to 1120. That's rough. Puts priced up super fucking hard there. And there's quite a lot of positive carry. So I mean I would guess that we would continue to see vol get shorted here, and it would continue to slump. We need some sort of news or something. I don't think they did. They get anything over the weekend? Did anybody hear anything bullish about Nvidia this weekend? Lonza? I don't even have that on here. Yeah, Lonza released their earnings and did a little bit better than expected, which was cool. Um, but price continued to slump. I don't really know if it's found a low. I mean, here's what I can do. I can publish the write up, right? But like, if I do it early, I know you guys are gonna get fucking burned because you guys always do that. You like, I'll write it and then you'll just buy it the next day. Some of you have bought it already, despite me not publishing the write up and having no idea what my thesis is, in an effort to like front run, and definitely bought it at fucking way higher prices than it's at now. Now their earnings was good, but their like time horizon for success is extraordinarily long. So I'm not in a rush by any means. Open. Ooh, 10-day skew doesn't look good. Boom, 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 boom. It's a pretty sharp fucking bounce. Yeah, open's kind of interesting. Friday low, got some excitement. Could push back out to GM. There's definitely plenty of interest out to like $10. There's plenty of positive gamma to the upside. There's no true gamma neutral on this at all. Yeah, look at the call buying out of the money. All of this. It's a shitload of call buying. That was into Friday's open. Shitload of put OI added too. So longer dated. I wonder if this is sold. Some of it might be. $8, $10 strikes. There's a little bit of room for it to pull back towards 6, but it looks pretty bullish. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, interest definitely picked up on the chain a lot on Friday. GLD? I don't know if GLD is a good indication of gold market sentiment, but Delta's falling, Gamma's falling. Little bearish. GN rising towards spot. It might still be very well supported, though. Some support at 70. Resistance at 75. Puts her pricing up pretty appreciably on both. Volatility premiums negatives. This doesn't really encourage a lot more vol selling below this point. I would say it's just kind of stable. Doesn't look particular. I guess there's like a little bit of upside skew. Maybe we could go out into like December OPEX. Looks like the 85 is getting sold. 80 might be being bought. Maybe 90, 95 being bought. Mm. It's definitely nowhere near bottoming out. It's like puts her to the downside, calls her slightly in the money, and then out to the upside. So yeah, might be a little bullish. Just a little though. I would want to see Delta turning around a bit. SMCI. Looks fucking kind of dead. I don't know. Pull back to 30. Bearish right now. Doesn't look good. There's a lot of concern over funding and continued build out for data centers. Is there a short answer to Lonzo without options? You can short the stock. I think it might have warrants. Bull? Yeah, Bull did get hammered. Doesn't look like it's finding any significant support yet either. It didn't get hammered that bad though. Close close before earnings was what? 825. Close on Friday was 829. So it's slightly up. Their earnings per share beat pretty hard, but I don't know if we got any revenue information. I know margins moved up pretty appreciably from like what was it? Negative 21% to 23.52. I wouldn't expect Bull to have a healthy PE ratio right now though. They're probably already trading at a probably like a negative price to earnings, but it's risky, right? They're like a Chinese software company, and we still don't really have a finalized or fleshed out trade deal with China. So yeah, I still trade futures. No, I haven't been trading on Webull very much at all. Crowd. Gamma stayed a little positive. I got a bounce off GN on Friday. Mm. Another one with a bunch of Delta falling off. $500 looks like resistance to the upside. 475 support below. Breakout of 500 is pretty bullish. Out to like 520. Yeah, puts her pricing up here a lot too. Again, this is another one where like the out of the money call position looks sold and the out the money put position looks bought. Seems to be a fairly common setup across most of these larger tech stocks. Which means that there's probably still not a ton of confidence in the trade. People are still very concerned with overvaluation. Even if we Excuse me. Even if we step away from the fact that there's liquidity issues that are currently ongoing, yeah, everyone feels like tech's overvalued. You start losing the dip buyers here, and the all the fucking covered call ETFs, especially in the Mag 7, are gonna kind of take over order flow, and if they start building positions that aren't getting fucking squeezed out every week, it gets pretty bearish pretty quick. Especially if they start rolling them down and shit. What's happened a lot over the last 2 years, especially like Nvidia. Nvidia is a great example of this. Is you have all these like income generating ETFs that hold like a significant portion of Nvidia because like the dispersion there between index vol and Nvidia volatility is very wide. And it's considered a relatively safe, good performing stock, and so you find a lot of these income generating ETFs are a bit overweight Nvidia. And so, they sell a lot of calls on Nvidia when the price drops. If it drops far enough, they probably roll those call positions down. And I think for the last couple of years, we see those call positions that immediately get squeezed off. But at some point, that won't happen, like back in April, and the call positions will just keep piling in, and the price will drop hard. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I've been doing like forearm curls, you know. What's up? I'm in the past, catching up to you in the future. So when you see this, I wouldn't have sent it yet, and I'll see your present answer, and it will be in the past once I arrive. Fuck you. Oh my god. I can't believe I read that. You son of a bitch. You got me. You got me. Fair enough. I can't wait to listen to him laugh his ass off in 15 minutes. Looks like the gap up's already pulling back to fill. That's always a good look. 66.45 support for ES here. Ugh, I'm gonna find something cool. I wanna find an equity that people say they didn't hear about because they didn't watch the Sunday stream. That's my favorite. Ooh, put delta fell pretty hard on Friday. That's kind of bullish, maybe. But so did overall, like net delta fell off pretty hard too, and that was all sitting in puts. So I wonder if it's short puts expired after they got rolled forward, or if it's gonna be bot puts closed because they sense a bottom or are worried about a bottom. Um, let's see what I want to go with. Exposures. See what in the last 2 days has picked up gamma. Well, opens one of them. Han? Or picked up Delta, rather. Oh, Honeywell. Duh. Ooh. Honeywell looks fun. Mm. Nope. Not that fun. Not a lot of room left to the downside, though. Like 180. Lots of room out to the upside. Skew ticked up on the 10, flattened on the 30. Ooh, carry went negative on IV10. IV30 carry is still positive, though. Hmm. What's this? December OPEX is where there's some increased volatility. Looks like the 200 strike's getting bought a bunch. Maybe 210, 205. Yeah, this doesn't. I mean, there's not a ton of options interest here, but it looks kind of fun. Breakout above 200 is definitely bullish. Breakout above 210 even more so. Yeah, pretty rapidly increasing implied vol out to like 210. If it continues to bounce here, although Friday it rejected off of like the 91 breakout. I don't know. It's an okay setup. I don't know if I'd be that interested in this one, to be honest. I'd probably stay out of it. Ooh, cooler. Interesting. That's another fucking just dead chain. A lot of gamma to the downside. That's positive. Hmm. That kind of looks fun. Just don't like skew though. Fucking chain is a mess. Maybe next week. The upside has a little more room. No, I'm just losing weight. I haven't done any weight training in weeks. Wix, WSC, G-Scan. Where? They're not in the interesting spots on G-Scan. I fucking hate this. I mean, I love it if it bounces, but otherwise I don't like it. Also, I feel like Wix is on G-Scan all the time. Where's WSC? Break it. Ooh, that's fun. I like this one. Delta's being more bought, but not a lot of Delta's being added. But Gamma's picking up, which is cool. Yeah, this is fun. Maybe up to like 25. Skew 30 turned around really hard. Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. I'd want to see historic vol continue to creep up on the 10-day, but that looks kind of neat. Over 20, most of the bullishness, but I think like from spot out to 20 is pretty easy. So maybe you could even confirm like an intermediate breakout there. Yeah, I don't hate that one. That's an energy infrastructure company is getting shafted if the AI data center and energy build out goes south. Yeah, I mean if there's a big funding crisis, I would probably not want to own energy stocks that have priced up 30%. No, I wanted to go short. Well, it doesn't look very bearish. I mean, you could try it. Ooh. Yeah, I like this one. I don't want to see more Delta come in, but it looks nice. Quiet, Johnny Utah. It's too many. Somebody else suggest something. I guess we could go over the index, which seems pointless because I'm going to write about it anyway. Peak of put delta moved down, kind of bullish. Put delta fell off alongside net delta. Or peak of put leverage moved down. Like put leverage now 3.2% below spot. So Bull's trying to turn this around before the risk really hits. Mm, over 6,600, it still starts to shed negative gamma a little bit faster. Interestingly, Delta neutral got less bullish Friday. More Delta fell off the chain, but the Delta that was added to the chain picked up. Um, Gion rising. Hmm. We're up 50 points in the overnight. Where does that put us? Like 66.36. So we're like up here. That's where spot is. So resistance at 50, support at 25. 20, it looks like support at 25 and 10, which is roughly the same range we traded in on Friday. I would say in the overnight, if we see the downside gap fill and then support, that's probably super bullish. Fuck you. I don't want to talk about Neo. Why are you such a dick, Cobra? What did I do to you? Oh, exciting. Trade war. Why are they going to crash? Because their margins have fallen negative over the last 2 quarters from barely being positive. I don't think you're wrong. It does look like shit. Did we invade Mexico? Accidentally. I'm sure we've, apologized. Pooties and Tooties doesn't like this bounce at all. Shit's already fading. What, $10? SPX? Fuck, I wish. I would buy hundreds. I would buy hundreds of S&P at $10. You might finish the stream before you check out. I feel like that's a new goal for me. Overpriced tech company? Yeah. Yeah, they are. What do they do? Just database services? One sec. TQQQ puts? Didn't they reverse split? Gross. No, probably not. Neo's going to $10. You're fucking delusional. I'll tell you what Neo looks like it's gonna do. Fucking nothing. Okay, well, maybe if it breaks out above 6. But not $10. Like 8 something. 850. I don't know. I still think it looks like shit. I don't think anyone's very excited about this. Maybe a little bit of call buying at $6. Yeah, I know the Q's reverse split. Oh, yeah, 2-1 for 2-1 for TQQQ, and then SQQQ reversed. That makes SQQQ the more tradable product. Now. Ooh, that means it's time for me to move my indicator over there. Fun! It's gonna be inverse. This is gonna be exciting. I'm not gonna lie, it kinda looks like they are. Look at that fucking volume. Hmm. Would you be surprised if I said I know? Know what? No, but it'll be an interesting dynamic for leverage ETFs, which have been propping everything up. Fastest Sunday Costco checkout ever. Oh, whoops. I totally meant to end the stream before then. Alright, so what do you guys think we do this week? Continue down our spiral of shame? Or all-time highs? Bitcoin's starting to fail again already. That's JFresh's new favorite indicator. Woo! Imagine all the BTC bulls right now. Just excited about this shit. Thoughts on a December rate cut? Seems split. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think Powell's not making any comments because he's letting everyone argue it out, but we shouldn't cut. I hope we do. But that's just because I like to watch things burn. Don't leave us a downward spiral or all-time highs. I mean, it looks like we're set up for a bit of a bounce tomorrow. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna get fucking rugged super hard again. It probably will. The 10-day skew, like, barely flattened. It was still down day over day. None of this looks particularly exciting, and the downside on SPX is still really slippery. So even with the move up, I don't think we've gained any substantial positioning. Don't eat that shit, man. Maybe we just get, like, choppy? I don't know. I don't like this bounce. I think it looks like shit. Marked a high, and now it's, like, retesting lows, not retesting highs. Like I said, if we fill the gap and then find support, like, that I would be like, that's probably bullish. This, kind of looks like meh. I didn't have a bad weekend. I got a lot of work to do tonight, but I didn't have a bad weekend. The fatty, salty siren sings so sweetly. It's a boiled, ultra fat Frankfurter, man. Just go to downtown, like, stop by downtown LA and get one of the ones with the bacon and the jalapenos. Those are way better. If you're gonna glizzy it up on your Sunday night. Oh, there goes futures. Glad I'm short. What? Who? Me? Yeah. Why's your boss making you work on the weekend? Because he's a fucking asshole. I would know. I live with him. That's That's 6 ticks, knuckleballer. And I shorted at 60, so I'm actually happy as fuck right now. I didn't almost get blown up on the upside move. What are you talking about? Don't talk about hawkish paws like that. He's not my boss. Did JFresh roll strikes again? What was that? Did he say the market was going up bigly? I'd probably, like, I don't know. I'd like to see the trend from the downside fail. It's like this. Or even the local one. Like, just fill the gap, right? And then we'll see what happens. Fill the gap, bounce, super bullish. Going back to 67, 66. Fill the gap, fail. Gross. Down here. Head and shoulders at that point. You're gonna make more doing this stream trading futures than most people make it their career this week, and it's great. I'm only short 3 contracts. But if it keeps failing, then maybe. Yeah. Ooh, slip support. Nice. Thanks, Pooties and Tooties. You're the best. Oh, yeah. Look at that low, low. All right. Is there anything else? Do we want to discuss implied move for tomorrow? It's not as wide as you would think. $90. You know what I don't like? Realized vol crushing out. Like these narrower and narrower intradays are those are good for a bounce because there's so much like VRP. Like the positive yield on fucking the 10-day is ridiculous right now. It's got like a 4.5 positive 4.5 spread. And with realized vol kind of flattening. Well, Friday was actually slightly bullish. Like realized vol moved up, but Overall, it's been fairly flat. If it falls again, everybody's going to crowd into short puts. And we still saw short puts Friday just because the VRP was so wide. Yeah, because HV10 was 13.82 to IV 2404. So the positive carry was positive 10.22, and that went down to 4.5. So about 50% of the positive carry gone. But if vol spikes again, they're gonna pile back into those. Unless HV keeps moving up. So we would want to see like Friday's close lost and then continuation to the downside, and that would shake out the put sellers again. So for tomorrow, we're looking at like 65.42 to 66.62. And I would say there's probably a slight bullish bias on that, so maybe like 66. Damn. I really hate that them overnight moves aren't realized yet. Maybe just flat. Flat on the overnight, though. So what was the overnight high? Like 50? Maybe something like that. But a retest in the 6,500 range, maybe. 65.84 would be a good level. We're under 66.25 right now, which means we slipped the gamma support already. So if we look at tomorrow's... God damn it. So we were like here, and now we're right here. Support at 10, support at 6,600. Losing those is really bearish, but it's easy for price to fall back into those, which could mean that they pin us in the intraday. Like if bullish breakouts are unsuccessful and we open near 6,600, I'd imagine we could get a flat day. It really depends where we open. Like if we open above 40, bullish. Below 40, chop. Below 6,600, bearish. And maybe like we'd have to be pretty far below 6,600. So not only would the overnight gap up have to fill, like the downside gap would have to fill, but we'd then have to fail the prior week open. Like under this, like 66.21 ES. If that starts dumping, that's really bad because it's gonna retest the support here, and that wasn't very. That's 6,600, and that wasn't super strong last time, right? Like that failed almost immediately. So I would imagine a retest of that level is not great, and that would open up, a move back to the lows like 65.31. Where we could then attempt to recover again, right? So it really depends on how much bulls want to try to defend that downside. But we're getting very close, like on downside moves, we're getting really fucking close to the JPM long pits. And that's bad. Like the delta on those picks up really, really quickly. So Friday's bounce kicked some of that delta from puts back off. But I wouldn't say it kicked off enough of it. and the close wasn't great. So slipping back below would be pretty bad. And I'm pretty sure that's like an important technical level also. Yeah, like 6508. Because losing that opens a move down to like 6360. I'm pretty sure if we get like another leg down from here, that would be a rejection off of the 2022 trend, which just means like back to the 1929 trend, right? So, or back to the 6200 support if we want to think more recently, which would wipe out pretty much all of the gains from most of the year. That would be an interesting year end. SPX flat after being up like 30 fucking percent. All right, well, not flat, but not great, right? What was Jan open? Like a 6% to 5% year. That'd be rough. That'd definitely put a big damper on the fucking AI investment thesis. Yep, we have a short week this week, so expect things to just be weird in general. Also, Vixpiration on Wednesday. It's been in backwardation a bunch recently, so the near term contract falling off is probably beneficial for short vol. So I'd maybe watch the middle week for like a stronger turnaround as people reposition on their VX. Especially because we've been seeing, like correlation move up. God damn it, where is it? Like tick down a little bit Friday, but flat and slightly up into the end of the week. Friday not much lower, like 0.6. Is it a 3-day market week? I thought the markets were open Friday. Oh, they have a half day. Half day for. Well, I'm not gonna fucking be here for that. Fuck that shit. I hate half days. So it will in fact be a 3-day market week. Hmm. Keeps going down. I don't want to get stopped out. I hope it just keeps dumping. Nah, I'm okay, thanks. Enjoy your spatchcock turkey. Spatchcocking the turkey. It's gonna be ham. Alright, well, that's what I got. So let's see what happens with this gap close. It looks like it's continuing down. So we failed support, and we've closed a bit of the overnight move up already. I will say volatility isn't rising much on this, so that fill the gap and find support thesis still looks pretty good right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have Pickles Picks out tonight. And don't forget the new Vol Stars episode will be out tomorrow as well. I'm not going to enjoy my night. I'm going to work my ass off for the next several hours. Till like, from now till like 4 in the morning. You need an AI agent. They're useless. We can't even get them to parse research reports correctly. They just pump out incorrect numbers and shit. And no, I don't need a prompt engineer. I'm already certified. Alright, fuck you guys. Have a good night. Enjoy your Sunday. Later.